Hi everyone, it's Julia. I am back with another sweatshirt transformation. I'm using a comfort colored sweatshirt, and this is the color, I believe it's colored navy, but their colors are washed, so it's kind of a washed navy. I'm first of all going to be cutting up the side seam and then removing this seam. I cut about 6 inches above above the band, the bottom band. And we'll be doing the same thing on the other side. I like opening these side seams up. It just gives it more wiggle room and they're just comfortable and it's kind of a nice detail. Now for the sleeves, I'm cutting 6 inches above the cuff. I made 6 of these sweatshirts, and so this is the first one I did. And after the other ones I didn't cut at 6, I cut more at like 5. I thought this one got a little bit long. I'm turning this part into the pocket, and I thought they got a little bit long for pockets at the 6 inches. I'm rounding the corners. I ended up having to cut this pocket down a little bit, and you'll see that later. But for now, I'm just doing cutting the other sleeve the same, and going to be turning that one into the other pocket. I want to make this into an open sweatshirt, so more of a cardigan. I didn't put buttons on it, but I just wanted something just like a cardigan or like a sweater type of a thing. So I just figured out where my center was and creased it with my iron, and now I'm cutting that up just so it's cut all the way up. I'll be folding this back about an inch or so, and we'll be stitching this. And also now this sleeve too, I'm going to roll back. And we'll also finish off that vent or that side seam. I'm at my sewing machine and I'm just straight stitching this down. This sweatshirt is very stable, does not fray at all. And so I'm not concerned about that edge being raw. So I just straight stitched it. I'm converting to my open arm now and just going to be doing the same with that sleeve, just turning that up about a ½ inch or so and then stitching that down. Now for the vents, I do like to finish these off with, it's called an applique stitch on my machine, but it looks like a buttonhole stitch or a blanket stitch. And now notice I don't stitch into the band at all. It looks messy, and so I just stop before the band. And you'll see here too, you can see what that stitch looks like. This is a really nice finish on that vent or that side seam. I found this fabric. I love the colors, and it looks well with this faded blue. And I already have Heat and Bond Light that I ironed on the back of it. And I'm going to use this fabric. I made some fabric twisted cord with some of that fabric. I'm just going to go over how I do this. Now my strips are approximately 1.25 inches wide and about 22 inches long. You don't want to get longer than 22. Some of mine are 18 inches. But you start with the 2 strands and you twist away from you twice and then bring it to the front. Twist away twice, bring it to the front. Twist away twice, bring it to the front. And that, it just is a really cool twisted cord. I use this a lot for embellishments. Again, twisting it twice, bringing it to the front. When I'm at about 1.5 inches or so left of a piece, I'll just form the other piece around it and just add it, and then just continue twisting it. As it gets a little bit bulky where you twist it together, that's why you don't want them to end at the same place. So I always have one, when I start, I always have one that's a little bit shorter or longer than the other. And now to make it real sturdy, I like to zigzag right down the center of it. And that showed you that where I just zigzagged right down the center of it. And then it really adds just a nice strength to it. And like I said, use this cord for a lot of different things. Decided I want to put a little bit of that fabric just on the top of that pocket. And I just remove that Heat and Bond Light and just adding that, just pressing it on with my iron. And then trying to decide where I want to put that cord, but I'm just going to put it right over the top of that just to add some texture to it. It has like a really neat look to it. And then for the sleeve, I'm just adding a little piece of that fabric approximately 4 inches above that turned up edge, and it's right on the top of the sleeve. If you've watched my videos for a while, you've seen me do this a few times within my videos. I really do like to add this little tie at my sleeve. I used my crocodile and just poked a hole all the way through that, and then just removing that little bit of fabric from the underneath. And then we'll be stitching this. I'm going to share how I stitched that. And then also going to take this to my sewing machine, and I'm going to be stitching this right on the top of that little rectangle. Now I've already stitched around that rectangle using that buttonhole or applique stitch, but to stitch this fabric twisted cord, I'm using my free motion foot, and I'm just going across it and just kind of catching it every so often. And then going to be using my free motion foot to outline this little piece on my sleeve, and then to go around and around that hole that I created. Now I'm taking about 10 inches of that fabric cord and just going to bring it through that hole and just do a quick little tie at the bottom of the sleeve. And now for the pocket. I've just decided it was too wide, and so I'm doing some trimming on this. Now for my other ones that I did not trim the pocket at all. I just kind of pleated it and tucked it and eased it in, and I really like that look too. I did round the corners again on the pockets and pinning them into place, and I pinned it above that band. And then taking it back to my sewing machine, and I am using that same applique stitch that looks like a blanket stitch. And I just wanted to point out that when I start and finish pockets, just because it's a stress seam, I go back and forth a few times. I hold my sewing machine in place and just let it go back and forth a few times. You'll see it here. Not sure if that's really good for your sewing machine, but to me it's just the easiest way to give a little bit more strength to that. Here's some pictures. This was a really easy one, but sometimes it's just nice to have a cardigan or a sweatshirt to throw over a plain colored t-shirt. Hope you enjoyed this, everybody. Hope you have a chance to create this week. Bye for now.